Hello, everyone. I hope you are doing good. This is Tutor Hira, and it's time for grade 6 English class. Let's log into aplusstudents.com using your password. Then move to Language Arts section. Go to grade 6, and the lesson or the chapter that I'm going to teach today is commas. It's titled Commas, Use of Commas. We are going to discuss lessons today, lesson number 1 and lesson number 3. Let's begin with the first lesson, commas with series, dates, and places. Commas with series, dates, and places. What's the use of commas when we write series of words? Commas to separate three or more items in a series. When we mention three or more items in a series, we use commas to separate them. Put a comma after each item in the list except for the last one. Means after the last one we don't use a comma, so we put a comma after each item in the list except for the last one. The last comma in the list right before the coordinating conjunction is called an Oxford comma or serial comma. And the serial comma is sometimes considered optional, but most style guides demand it. Well, it's the basic use of commas. When we mention two or three items in a series, we put commas. So we'll put a comma after each item, except for the last one. This is the last one, this item. So no comma is used here. See? No comma is used. Red, white, and blue are the colors of the American flag. So, what are the three items in series red, white, and blue? So, put a comma at one, first one, and second one. But after the last one, we don't put a comma. Now, the last comma, it means two commas are used here. So, this is the last comma. The last comma in the list is called an upward comma or serial comma, which is used right before the coordinating conjunction. And is the coordinating conjunction. And the comma used before it is this the last one. It's called Oxford comma or serial comma. Why is it considered sometimes optional? In most style guides, it is considered mandatory. Expressions that consist of pairs of words, such as thunder and lightning, bread and butter, they are generally treated as single items in a series. Sometimes we use some items, single items in a series, which are pairs of words like these ones, thunder and lightning, bread and butter. So they'll be considered a single item. College costs typically include tuition, room and board, and textbooks. Now, in this one, tuition is one word, textbooks is also one word, but room and board is a pair of word. So it will be considered one item. So there are three items in a series, not four. You cannot separate room and board because room and board is taken as a, it will treat it as a single item. So first comma here, second comma here. Now all three items in the series are separated using commas. This is the last one before coordinating conjunction. So this is the Oxford comma or serial comma. So this is the use of commas in series. Hello to everyone, and I welcome those who have just joined us. I'll be waiting for your answers in the comment box. I hope you understand the use of commas with series. Now, use of commas with dates. Okay, with dates. How do we use them? In dates, with a day and a year. When we write dates with day and year, use a comma after the day. When we use comma dates, use a comma after the date. In dates with a day and a year, use comma after the day like this here. And also use a comma after the year unless the date ends the sentence. But here the date doesn't ends the sentence. Sorry, doesn't end the sentence. So we'll use a comma after year as well if the sentence continues. This continues. January 1, 2001 was the first day of this century. Now, after the day, we have used a comma because this date has day and year both. Day, January 1, year 2001. So after the day, we will use one comma, and after the year, we are using comma because the sentence continues. Unless the date ends the sentence, we'll use it. Mahatma Gandhi was born on October 2, 1869. So in this date, comma is used after the day only because it's a date with a day and a year. And after the year sentence ends, so date ends, so we don't use any other comma. I hope you understand. What's the date today? September 1, 2025. So it's a date with a day and a year. So we will use comma after the day. Now the third use of comma with places. When the name of a city is used with the name of its state or country, use a comma after the city. When the name of a city is used with the name of its state or country, use a comma after the city. And also use a comma after the state or country unless it ends the sentence. Chicago, Illinois is known as the Windy City. Now, in this one, Chicago is the name of the city. Illinois is a state, name of a state. Now, comma is used after the city. But one more comma is used after the name of the state because the sentence, it does not end the sentence. The sentence continues. So we'll put it to the state as well. But we do not use comma if it ends, if the name of the country or state ends the sentence. Now let's read this one. We've just booked our flight to Athens. Now Athens is the name of city and Greece is the name of the country. Now here sentence ends, so no comma after the country. So use a comma after state or country unless it ends the sentence. But it ends the sentence here, so no comma here. But it does not end the sentence here, so we will use a comma after the name of state as well. So this is the use of comma with dates. Oh, sorry, places. So the test, in the test, you have to use the, you have to correct it by inserting two commas. Note, in this skill, serial commas are not optional. Means you have to put serial commas, you have serial commas or Oxford commas, whatever you means the comma before the coordinating conjunction. You have to insert two commas. You have to select the text by inserting two commas. Elvis Presley was born in Tupelo, Mississippi in 1935, and it's still possible to take a tour of his birthplace. First option, in which comma is used after the word Tupelo, Mississippi, and the date, or the second one, in which comma is used after the name of this person, not the name of, not after this word Tupelo. So which one is correct, first or second? Well, the first one is correct because the name Tupelo is the name. Tupelo is the name of the city, and Mississippi is a name of a state. So you know the rule: use comma before, after the city, and use one more comma after the state if it doesn't end the sentence. And we know that we use the comma after the year as well if it doesn't end the sentence. So these three are correct uses of comma. After the city, after the state because it doesn't end the sentence, and after the date because it doesn't end the sentence. So these are correct. Here, this one, we can't use it to the name because it disrupts the sentence. We see here Tupelo, name of city, and state must be separated using commas, so it's not mentioned here. So, so this one is missing, so it's a wrong option. This one is correct. Very well. Somebody has answered. Iliana. Eliana, I guess. Yes, it's option one. Very well. I'll be waiting for answers from your side. In 2013, Nelson Mandela, freedom fighter and former South African president, died at the age of 95 at his home in Johannesburg, South Africa. Now read both. Look at the use of mas and tell me which one is correct. Well, Eliana, are you asking or answering? Just remember the rules: commas with dates, commas with places, and with series, and some other uses of commas as well. Okay, let's understand the first option. We know that comma is used after the year, so this one. After the year. Nelson Mandela, freedom fighter and former South African president. See these two commas, these two, this one is a non restrictive element. So we understand this use of one. Died at the age of 95 at his home in Johannesburg, South Africa. Johannesburg, name of the city, South Africa, name of the country. And the use of comma is use comma after the name of city. So these three seems correct. But look at the second option. Well, yes, comma is used after the year. It's fine. Here, it's fine. It's fine. But this comma died at the age of 95. This one is incorrect. And after the name of city, no comma. So these are two wrong uses. So this seems incorrect. No problem, no problem. You'll understand it. This first one. I've given you reasons why first one is correct. I hope you understand it. The United States is not the only country with a red, white, and blue flag. The flags of over 30 other nations use the same colors. Option 1 or option 2. Well, now again, first option is correct. Let me give you reasons. Commas with series. Three items in a series: red, white, and blue. The names of colors are mentioned in a series. So you have to separate them using comma. First comma to separate first two, then the comma to after the second item, before the conjunction, coordinating conjunction as well. And we don't use it after the last one. So this is the correct use. In the second option, here, comma before coordinating conjunction is not mentioned. So this is wrong. The first option is correct. It's commas with series. Very well, Eliana. Good. In one of hockey's most exciting overtime games, Bobby Orr scored the winning goal to lead the Boston Bruins to a Stanley Cup title on May 10, 1970. Read the second option as well. Look at the use of commas and then decide. Or second. Hmm. Yes, it's option two. Why is it option two? Because in option one, the comma is after this name is incorrect. It should not be. And in option one, no comma is used after the day in date. So option number two, it has comma after the day and no comma here. So this one is correct. Option select. Okay, now it's time for the second lesson. I hope you understand the use of commas with series, dates, and places. Let's learn lesson number three first. I'm skipping lesson two because of a certain reason. Commas with direct addresses, introductory words, interjections, and interrupters. So, first, use commas to separate the name of a person being spoken to from the rest of the sentence. So, it's comma with direct addresses. When you directly address a person, use commas to separate the name of a person being spoken to from the rest of the sentence. If the sentence is, Thank you, Bella, just this. So, will you separate the name of the person from the rest of the sentence? This is the sentence, so we'll separate it using comma. And if the sentence is, Thank you, Bella, for your. Now, separate, use comma before the name and after the name as well because the sentence doesn't end here, it continues. So you have to separate the name of the rest of the sentence. So you'll be using two commas here. So this is the use of comma with direct addresses. Now, use a comma after words like yes, no, well, and many others when they are followed by a complete sentence. See, these are introductory words sometimes. So use comma after these words yes, no, well, when they are followed by a complete sentence. Yes, that sounds great. Or no, I'm good or fine. So use a comma after these words when they are followed by a complete sentence. Or, well, that makes sense. So words like yes, no, well, use a comma after these words when they are followed by a complete sentence. Now use a comma after a mild interjection, not a strong interjection. Mild interjection like oh or oh, no, or ow. These are mild interjections. Oh, what a stunning set. So this is an interjections. Mild interjections. So use a comma after these mild interjections. And interrupters. One thing is left. Use commas around an interrupter, not after, around an interrupter. What is an interrupter? A word, a phrase, or that adds additional, non essential information to the sentence. So, what is an interrupter? Interrupter is a word, a phrase, or a clause that adds additional, non essential information to the sentence. Use a comma around an interrupter. You, of course, may have a different opinion. So, of course, here is a phrase, it's an interrupter. So, we'll use commas around this interrupter because this is a non-essential information, or you can say additional information. So we'll put commas around it. So this is the use of commas with first with direct addresses, then with words, introductory words, then with mild interjections, and then intruders. Now correct the text by inserting one comma. No, the Empire State Building wasn't completed until 1931, just after the Chrysler Building. First or second? Well, I'll explain the first question for you. This one, first one is correct. Why? Because no is the introductory word here. Yes, no, well. So comma is used after this word. The Empire State Building wasn't completed until 1931. Remember the use of comma with after the year with dates. Sorry here. After the Here. So here, in the second option, it is not used after this word no, introductory word, and it's the incorrect use here. So the second option is incorrect. Laughter is, as they say, the best medicine. First or second, very easy. Very well. And Anna, it's option one. Yes, very good. Because as they say, is the interrupter. So commas are used around the interrupter. In this one, second option, a comma is used after as, and then wrong one. So first option is correct. No, Benjamin Franklin was never president of the United States. Option one, option two. Yes, Adriana, again it's option one. Very well. It's correct. Comma is used after the introductory word, just this only. In my opinion, the witness has already answered that question fully, Judge Tyler. Very well. Again, it's option one. Why? In my opinion, is the introductory word. So it's the comma is used after it. And this one here, the direct address. We separate the name of the person being spoken to using a comma. So yes, first option is correct. Very well. Are you sure, Uncle Philip, that this pasta is al dente, not just undercooked? First or second? Excellent. Option one again. Sorry, I, by mistake, I selected the second one. May is, to be perfectly honest, clueless when it comes to crossword puzzles. Or May is, to be perfectly honest, clueless when it comes to crossword puzzles. Excellent. Eliana, it's option two. Let me explain it why. See, to be perfectly honest, what is it? Interrupter. So comma is used around it. But basically, the sentence is May is clueless when it comes to crossword puzzles. So this is interrupter. So use commas around it. That's why it's correct. Very well. Good job. Your enthusiasm for organic gardening is contagious, Mr. Kemp. Yes, it's option two. Very well. This one is correct because in option one is this wrong use of comma, and no comma is used before the direct address. So yes, option two is correct. I know you have answered it. In Darnay's defense, Coach Freeman, I have to point out that he did have three assists in the last game. First or second? And yes, very good. Option one is it is because um, it's direct address. So use comma around it because the direct address doesn't end the sentence. So one more comma here. So this is it. I hope you understand the use of comma with series, dates, places, and with this one, direct addresses, introductory words, interjections, and interrupters. I hope you understand it. And if I get the chance of teaching you again, grade 6, we will discuss the remaining lessons of this chapter. Till then, have a great time. Bye.